Beyonce's daddy is in all sorts of trouble, according to Bossip, or Black Gossip. Bossip.com put out a story titled, Bossip Exclusive, Judge Calls Mathew Knowles a Bad Dad, Orders him to pay $71,000 child support. $71,000. They go on to say, Judge calls out Beyonce's dad for being a deadbeat to daughter Koi, 5. Damn. That made your boy Mathew Knowles look like he ain't shit. Yes, Jesus. Let me go ahead and read to you what Bossip wrote. Bossip writes, and I quote, deadbeat dad Mathew Knowles tried to buy his baby mama's silence with $225,000 after she told him she was pregnant with their now 5-year-old daughter. That's according to a Houston family court judge who ripped Knowles for giving baby mama Taqoya Branscomb the $225,000, quote, hush money payment to persuade her from hauling him into court for child support. Quote, Mathew Knowles knew of his paternity in September 2009 and clearly sought to avoid the establishment of a support obligation based primarily on the tolling agreement and the payment of monies pursuant to said agreement, which the court can only reasonably conclude was hush money, end quote, Judge David D. Farr wrote as part of his ruling in Harris County District Court. Koi was born in 2010, while Knowles was still married to Beyonce's mother. That's right, it sounds like he was cheating on her for those that never heard about this story. Koi was born in 2010 while Knowles was still married to Beyonce's mother, Tina. Branscomb sued Knowles in 2014 over the paternity of the little girl, and the pair had been duking it out in court ever since. In a ruling last month, the judge sided with Branscomb, ordering Knowles' wages garnished to pay her $70,822 and back child support plus interest, along with $1,496 a month in regular child support. Knowles is also now responsible for the child's health insurance, as well as $50,000 in Branscomb's attorney fees. I bet he wishes he would have done things differently now. Anyway, the story goes on to say, on page 2, Judge Farr awarded Branscomb sole custody of their daughter and blasted Knowles for turning his back on his own flesh and blood. Quote, the court notes that Mr. Knowles has zero interest and, in this court's consideration on the evidence, zero capability of being a positive role model in the child's life, end quote, Judge Farr wrote. Pause the story right there. They're basically saying he ain't shit. In his defense, Knowles claimed he was too broke to pay back child support, but shouldn't have to because he already paid Branscomb the $225,000. Knowles also said he's not responsible for back child support from when Koi was a baby because he paid for Branscomb to have an abortion and believes she did until they met up shortly after the baby was born. But the judge wasn't buying it. Quote, by way of findings to the issue of retroactive child support, Judge Farr wrote, quote, the court notes that it has considerable veracity and credibility of Mr. Knowles' testimony based on numerous observations at trial, end quote. The judge is scheduled to make the ruling permanent during a hearing next week. We've reached out to Knowles for comment, end quote. So there's the story, but here's the deal. Peep the part of the story where it says, let's see, he paid for Branscomb to have an abortion and believes she did until they met up shortly after the baby was born. You know, abortions are a crime against humanity. They've been used to cover up adulteries when children are trafficked from foreign countries and they're, sex trafficked. Little girl get pregnant, they'll force her to have an abortion and stuff like that, and that'll help cover it up to keep the thing going. I'm not blaming Mr. Knowles for anything. I'm not saying he did anything like this. Only thing I'm saying is this, though. I'm not calling him a criminal, but criminals have used abortion as a way to get away with their crimes for eons now. I just wanted to make sure I threw that out there, and I don't support the Negro Project. If you don't know what the goddamn Negro Project is, you need to look it up. Basically, Margaret Higgins Singer, the founder of Planned Parenthood, called so-called blacks human weeds and wanted to eliminate your lives via infanticide, aka abortion, aka genocide, black genocide, the Black Holocaust. She wanted to use birth control and abortion. And I know that these women, a lot of these women are just straight up whores out here sleeping with married men and just fucking everything moving like there's no goddamn tomorrow. You know, so I'm not saying that I'm completely against birth control, because some people are just trash who can't control themselves. And I'm not saying that I think that a child should ever suffer, whether it's abortion or living in a screwed up situation because the parent is a piece of shit. But we also have to bring something else into consideration here, which I'm going to talk about this later on in more detail, which is if somebody's a fucked up person, they do something screwed up to a child, what makes you think that somebody who would harm a child isn't harming adults, isn't harming people in society in general? People who have abusive personalities don't stop with their abuse because they aborted a child. Like these retards will say, well, the reason why I support abortion is because what if a crackhead puts a baby in the microwave? Well, let me tell you something. Anybody who's whacked out in their mind enough to put their fucking baby in the microwave will probably harm you. Do you really want to live near that person, or even live in a world with the same person who would put their baby in a fucking microwave? Do you realize how ridiculous and downright unreasonable that sounds? Like, yeah, I could live in a world with a person who puts babies in microwaves, just as long as they don't have a baby to put in the microwave. Maybe they'll put your stupid ass in the microwave. Sounds like a sick fucking person, doesn't it? Sounds like somebody who needs to be helped. And abortion won't save them from being fucked up. But yeah, there's some serious mental health issues, and we could talk about post-abortion syndrome, these women who have these sick problems. Like a lot of these women that you see in these reality TV shows suffer from post-abortion syndrome. Nobody wants to talk about it, but the ones you see fighting and acting ridiculous. Look at Jocelyn Hernandez, for example. People know that Jocelyn is human excrement, but they don't know part of the reason why she acts like that is probably because she suffers from post-abortion syndrome. I mean, when you kill your own baby, you know you're not right. Or as Lauryn Hill would say, how you gonna win when you ain't right within? But anyways, as far as this whole Mathew Knowles situation goes, this is a fucked up situation. And if he really tried to kill his baby as a way of not paying for the child, I mean, why not just get a goddamn vasectomy? But the other thing is this, for you people who do support abortion, why don't you support Mathew Knowles having his version of male abortion and walking away from the child? That's what it sounds like he wants to do. And I'm not saying that that's what he is doing. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like. And if Mathew Knowles does not want to be in that child's life and doesn't want to pay for it, and you support abortion, you need to support his alleged decision in not wanting to be in this child's life. Don't be a hypocrite. Support equality. Let Mathew Knowles go on with his life without you negatively judging him for it. But anyways, that's a good chunk of change, y'all. That's some shmoney right there. It sounds like she got her come up. You know, she got her Fetty Wap. Or rather, she's about to get it, it looks like. So, shout out to Taqoya, or however you pronounce her name. She's about to get that check. Because bitch ass Mathew Knowles couldn't keep it in his pants. Y'all motherfuckers is stupid. I'm sorry to say, but a lot of these men just really can't control themselves. You know, if you can't control your urges like that, then it sounds like you really need help. I mean, if these allegations about Mr. Knowles are actually true, if they're in fact actual fact, then it sounds like as if he really needs help. It sounds like it's deeper than just, ooh, this is a juicy story. You know, it sounds as if Mr. Knowles needs some sort of counseling and intervention, and they need to give his ass that snip. You know, I'm definitely pro vasectomy, pro tying your tubes, and pro tying your legs. Ladies, don't be a hoe. Tie your legs in a bow. I'm just saying. But this is all my opinion. What's yours? Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine. One of my subscribers, I think she's a subscriber because she posted a frequent amount recently. She's very pro-abortion. I wonder if her baby killing ass is going to come, support of baby killing ass is going to come to the comment section saying something that's pro Planned Parenthood, pro-abortion, because she's off the fucking chain. I wonder if she's going to leave a comment. I'm waiting to read her fucking comment. Let me know what you think about it all below. Meat Magazine.